Yeah, I'll just go ahead. Well, you've heard about all the great film festivals that are around the country, Sundance and the world. You have Cannes, but did you know you have a great one right here, right in your own backyard, that's been going on for several years now, the Newport Beach Film Festival, and it starting up very soon on April 23rd. It runs for about a week. We have the CEO of and the founder of this event. I'm going to try and pronounce your name, Greg Schwenk.
You did a great job.
All right.
Perfect.
Nice to have you here today.
Nice to be here.
How did this start all these years ago? And you told me 16 years ago. I was telling Greg, it seems like it's been longer, but how did you start this?
Sure. Gentleman Todd Corderero and myself sat down and worked with different leaders of the city and said there could be no more beautiful place or setting for a film festival than Newport Beach. And I said, I think we can really build this into a global world-class film festival. And that was 17 years ago. Early in 2000, in March of 2000, we had our first festival. And that was a handful of events, about a little under 100 films. And we've now grown into, for our 16th year, we'll have over 400 films.
Wow.
Screening on 15 screens. We will host 20 receptions, major events, and galas. We will host a free seminar series that is really the envy of many, many film festivals around the U.S. and all in the greater Newport Beach area. So it's really something for everyone.
So how does one start this? What is your background that enabled you to obviously get Hollywood and throughout the world? Because when we look at these, you have films that are from Chile and Mexico and Sweden. How do you coordinate that, the very first one, and how did you get that
Well,
going?
I think obviously on our first year we didn't have the array of films that we have now.
Yeah.
But we've built up the trust of major distributors and sales agents, and we will work to bring really unique films here to Southern California. So as you pointed out, we've got a really very strong thriller from Germany. We've got a really darker comedy from Ireland. We've got an amazing opening night film. Our opening night film is Russell Crowe's directorial debut called The Water Diviner. And it's a period piece. It's about an Australian farmer, Russell Crowe, whose 3 sons have gone off to the First World War and are presumed missing and killed in action at the Battle of Gallipoli. And he goes over to Gallipoli to bring his sons back. And just a very powerful film. And then we've got an amazing after party right after that. And that's going to be 25 of the top restaurants here in Orange County doing the signature tastings.
Oh, nice.
Bar by Tito's and Remy and Stella Artois beer, and a private performance by Cirque du Soleil.
Wow.
So it's a wow of an evening, yes.
So you told me several different venues. Yes. Obviously, there's some in Newport Beach,
That's
probably
correct.
the what we used to call Big Newport down there.
Still called the Big Newport, yep.
But in and around Newport,
yes.
Or how far does it extend?
We use the Big Newport theaters, the Island Cinema theaters, which are in the center of Fashion Island. We use the Lido Theater, the Triangle, which is right off of the 55 and Newport Boulevard. We use South Coast Village. And we also utilize for our collegiate program Sage Hill High School, which is in Newport Coast.
Oh, neat.
So we've got a lot of different venues, and all of them are really very nice, especially the venues, the Big Newport and the Island Cinemas are now luxury theaters, so beautiful, sort of the overstuffed leather chairs, really, really nice.
Very nice. I have a couple questions here. One is which is, with all these different films, is there one chance to see them, or are there several showings? It just depends on the film?
It does. For example, you've got up
yeah, because this one looks really fun.
It's great. It's a little chaos. It's part of our UK celebration. We have a number of films from the United Kingdom that are playing during the festival. And that one happens to be Alan Rickman, the actor, his directorial debut. It stars Stanley Tucci and Kate Winslet and Alan Rickman.
Let me just tell the description, because this looks like a fun film. A landscape designer selected to construct the opulent King Louis the 13th garden at Versailles is drawn into battle with both professionally and romantically with the king's chief architect. this looks like it's going to be a fun film.
Oh, it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
It's
Something really different.
100%. And
Yeah.
he's done a wonderful job directing and acting in it. So I think definitely it's one I'm telling my parents they definitely have to see.
Yeah, so you get obviously films with people and directors one might not have heard of, but you also get films that are you can see you have huge names in there.
Yes.
And how do they choose to send their film to you?
Well, we definitely in 2005 we were the U.S. premiere for Crash, and so we're one of the few festivals that has ever opened with a U.S. premiere that has gone on to win the Best Picture.
Yeah.
And then a few years after that, we started having stronger and stronger films, and it's now come to the point where studios will call us, they'll approach us about this film, even our opening night film, which is a Warner Brothers title, and then several other films that we have at the festival that they see Newport Beach as a launch pad for that film, whether it's going to be a foreign title that's going to go on for maybe VOD or Netflix and such, or for the larger titles that will go on for theatrical distribution and release.
Yeah, so you really have quite a variety here. And I noticed that on some of these when I've looked through here, you can opt for just to see the film, or some of them, if it's their premiere night, there might be like an after party, correct?
Every night of the festival, there's some kind of party. And that when we founded the festival, we wanted to make it fun, we wanted to make it accessible, we wanted to give people an experience that they wouldn't be able to have even other festivals. We go to a number of festivals around the U.S. Every year, and they might have a nice opening night, and then things sort of die down. Well, the opening night at Newport is by far, and I'm not saying this because it's our festival, is by far the best opening night you could experience almost anywhere you're going to go. Then every other night of the festival is like some other festival's opening night.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time on production design. We put a lot of effort into really celebrating the different films we have each night, and we try to make it accessible to people. It's just not for the film industry, though we get a lot of people from the industry down. It's for our community, and I look at that community as really the greater Southern California area.
Well, as I said, people often hear about the other film festivals, and to have one right here of this caliber in your backyard is just absolutely amazing. And the films that you brought, like you mentioned, Crash, it's just wonderful. People have an opportunity to see a film firsthand that could go on to win an Academy Award, or they have a chance to see a film that maybe they wouldn't think of seeing before. And some of these films from other countries, or maybe a small independent film company, and they can be just beautiful films. And often we see those films just explode.
Oh, 100%.
It's amazing.
Also, I think the neat thing about the Newport Beach Film Festival is it's just not about the movies or the parties. It's about the opportunity to mix and mingle with the people who make the movies. And we're really proud that at Newport, probably about 80 to 90% of our audience, our films have someone from the film attending. So there'll be a Q&A afterwards, and an opportunity for them to ask questions and get an insight to the filmmaking process that they just wouldn't have any other way.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge benefit if you've ever wondered how something is made, to have maybe the producer there or maybe one of the actors. It's just a great time. You saw the film, and now afterwards you get to mingle with them and actually talk about it.
Yes.
And they get feedback too.
100%,
right?
100%.
Yeah, which is nice, because maybe they've made this film and it's really well liked, but they decide, you know what, there's a scene here we need to tweak a little bit.
Sure.
If we ever do mass distribution, and they get that feedback.
Oh,
it's
very
great.
extremely valuable. And so I want to make sure that if your audience is interested, they can log on to newportbeachfilmfest.com. Also, this Sunday, the LA Times will doing a pullout section. They'll cover all the different films at the festival.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to leave here at the community center a number of our programs, so people like to come pick them up. And I also want to make a special announcement just for the Laguna Woods residents. I'm going to talk with my ticketing team when I get back, and if they come up to the box office and they have their Laguna Woods ID, we'll do a special discount for any film starting before 5 o'clock. Normally we'll do a $12 senior deal, but I'll drop that to $10
Wow.
for our general screenings before 5 o'clock at any of our screens.
Fantastic. Again, go to newportbeachfilmfest.com and you can get all the information, and you'll see there the venues that they're playing at. So make sure you pay attention to that. Greg, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
This is a great film festival, and we hope to see you again, and good luck with it this year.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back.